Welcome, everyone. Traveling with young kids can be a nightmare for parents. A mom from the UK came under fire recently after she admitted that she sedates her kids on long flights. Joining us now to weigh in, parenting expert Dr. Deborah Gilboa. We've already heard some awes from the audience.
Yeah.
So tell us about this, and also just as a doctor and a parenting expert, walk us through this. It doesn't feel or sound right to me.
It doesn't. I have total empathy. I have 4 kids also. She keeps saying, I have 4 kids. We had one really noteworthy 15-hour flight with kids who were 4, 6, 8, and 10, and we sat on the tarmac for 6 hours before we even take off.
Oh, that's a tough one.
With no in-flight entertainment. I mean, I get it. If I'd had drugs, I'd have been tempted. But that's why I don't bring them, because you can't do it unless it's under the supervision of a physician. If you have a kid who's not neurotypical and you have a flight you need to make and you talk to their doctor and they say, here's how we're gonna do it, and you try it beforehand, because what you're trying to do with these medications is to use a side effect. It's not the purpose of the medication, right? You're usually using an antihistamine. You're basically trying to game the side effect to get you what you want. But 2 to 5% of kids have a paradoxic reaction. And my kid is one of those. And he got Benadryl for an allergic reaction and went to school, and his 2nd grade teacher, who was like the Mary Poppins of his school, called me and said, please never give him that again. He was climbing the wall.
So that medication, antihistamine, typically is going to have that effect of making you drowsy.
But
maybe
no
even
guarantees.
sedate you, but that small group, I mean, you get agitated. I've seen people
angry,
get crazy
yeah,
on antihistamines like that.
And you don't know if it's going to be too effective, not effective enough, if it's going to cause nausea, which it definitely can. You don't want that. Yeah. You also don't want to
there's, as far as I understand, when it comes to these sedating antihistamines, with young kids, you don't typically want to give them to them anyway, and certainly there are circumstances. And I will say, by and large, antihistamines, when used appropriately, are fairly safe medications. Mm-hmm. But to me, the biggest thing, and these were antihistamines, it's not like she was giving the kids these hardcore barbiturates or things like that.
Definitely.
But what worries me is you do it once, let's say, and then all of a sudden it becomes the norm. And anytime, so to me, it's almost this slippery slope of the mom does it on this long flight, and then it's
Grandma's gonna babysit, and I don't want you to
here's
get pain,
some, here's your medicine, here's your medicine. When do you? It's not appropriate to begin with, but it's also, I can just see a parent just doing it over and over again. And hey, we're gonna go out to dinner. We have a new babysitter. Here.
Well, and here's the worst part of that is, what are you teaching your kid?
Right.
Is that if you don't like your behavior, take a medicine to change your behavior or change your feeling, and that's a lousy coping mechanism.
What do you do?
So the hack is, when I've traveled, and I traveled with a 2-month-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-year-old on a long flight overseas, and I brought new earplugs for the people around me, just to have them on offer in case they needed them. And like, that's a way to turn the people around you from your haters to your fans. You're like, I'm really sorry. I know this is super unpleasant, because you never know what a baby's going to do.
What's their response? You get ready to take off. Here, we're going to be together for a few hours, and my kids are here.
Nobody misses a baby on a flight. If you sit down next to them with a baby, they're already wondering. So if you just flash the earplugs and you're like, just in case the baby has trouble, I have these, they smile at you at least.